Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So in today's success story session, we have with us Pavithra Devi, and she has cleared NABARD Grade A in her first attempt. And she didn't even have the agriculture background. She was from engineering background, and still she cleared NABARD Grade A in her first attempt. So let us know her strategy, that how she came across NABARD Grade A, what was she doing before that, what was her educational background and all of it. And I must tell you all that you will be getting major pointers from her regarding the strategy. So welcome, Pavithra.
Thank you, ma'am.
And heartiest congratulations to you, first of all. Like, you did clear the NABARD in your first attempt. That is a big deal, I can say.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So Pavithra, starting with your educational background, would you like to tell the students, that aspirants, that what were you doing, like which background you had before NABARD came across with you?
Yes, ma'am. I have a graduation B in electrical and electronics engineering, and after my graduation, I started with UPSC preparation. So I was into the field for 5 years, and after 4 attempts of UPSC, this was my first attempt in NABARD.
Okay. So yeah, so you had big experience, we can say, for the competitive exams, because you gave UPSC. So you can say, like, can we say that UPSC helped you in NABARD?
Yes, ma'am. A lot. It helped me a lot.
Okay, so we will know that which segments helped UPSC preparation through the NABARD. And before knowing that, let me tell you, let me ask you one thing, that like, what was the biggest thing that motivated you towards NABARD, or why did you give NABARD after UPSC?
Yes, ma'am. If my 4 attempts were over, and I was able to clear 2 prelims, but I was not able to get through mains, and I felt being very idle for a long time, and I didn't want to waste all my knowledge that I've gathered for 4 years. And coming to NABARD, this time the merit section was in my favor, because the aptitude and reasoning was in non-merit section.
Yes.
So the fear of competing with bankers was gone. So I thought I can do that. And this is
Yes.
also a wonderful opportunity to serve the agriculture and rural development field and knowledge-based organization. So all these, with all these factors, I decided to go with NABARD.
Yes, that's really great. So now, see, the layout that we will be following will be that we will be talking about the strategy for phase one, and then we will talk about phase two, and then we will talk about interview, so that all the aspirants get proper guidance from you. Okay. So,
Okay.
starting with phase one, starting with the qualifying section. So, decision making was the first thing that was added new. So, did you focus on decision making, or you were like, it doesn't carry much marks, so leave it?
No, Mama, I focused in the sense I just went through the basics available with the internet. That is what I did to have an idea. But I didn't have much idea about it, how the questions be. But I was able to manage with the questions and options. I was able to eliminate, and I was able to do that. I think giving more focus on questions and analyzing the answers will help in decision making now.
Okay, so it's like not much in depth you have to go, just free videos you can see and analyze yourself. Decision, it's decision making. You just have to make some decisions like that.
Yes.
So you do not have to go in depth. So yes. So next, coming to QRE, you said that you didn't have much very much hold in that, but still, like, how did you focus on the QRE part?
Yes, ma'am. For the only basic thing that I had was the civil service CSAT preparation,
Hmm.
and with that I saw how the previous year questions were asked, even in reasoning and quants. So I solved those previous year question papers. So that is what I did, and I was able to do well with that preparation.
Okay, so it's like you need to analyze the previous year questions, and then you have to focus on that only, that which path you have to follow instead of just going haywire. Okay, so we have talked about QRE, we have talked about decision making. The last segment is computer. So about computer also, did you focus too much on it, or you were like, just basic knowledge will help?
Basic knowledge did help me, ma'am. I did not focus much on computer part, but basic knowledge helped me.
Okay, so you have to go basic in the computer and decision making. Do not waste too much time, because there are major sections, like merit section is there. So now coming
Yes.
to the merit section, how did you focus on GA? Like, it is a big trouble for some students, because they cannot remember the, like, small details, dates and all. So can you guide us some about GA?
In general awareness part, static, I think my 4 to 5 years of UPSC preparation knowledge helped me with the economics and the schemes I was able to do with that. But I before the exam, what I did was I took the previous year question papers and analyzed what extra things I have to focus other than my routine UPSC preparation. So I found year, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I focused on the years, the budget allocation, and some other facts that we need to do. So that also I took guidance from the previous year question paper and I focused on that. And I did prepare the NABARD annual report, the pictograph part that is given in the front part of the annual report. I prepared that. So that was, and that's what I did for the prelims general awareness part.
Yeah, so we can see that she was very selective about what she was gaining. Like you were very selective about the budget, and you said that in the NABARD report also, you only saw the pictographical and the major knowledge that you were getting instead of going in depth. So in all the things, the major thing that I think pushed you was that you were doing you were gaining the knowledge, but the knowledge that was actually required for the exam instead of just going and reading everything and anything. Okay, so we have covered GA, and how did you revise? Because of course you can gain all the knowledge, but bringing it to the exam is a big thing. So how did you like remembered everything in the exam?
Actually, this may be my first attempt, but I've been revising for 4 years of thing. So that was the thing. And usual revision, I took simply previous year question paper was my base. So again I focused previous year question papers, and at the present year, what sort of questions can be asked similar to that. That is what I kept doing. So my 4 years of revision helped me.
Yeah, so knowledge never goes to waste. So your knowledge of UPSC helped you in NABARD. So anyone that is preparing for some other exam, they must think that your knowledge is going to get you somewhere at some time. Maybe not in UPSC, but at some other place. So yeah, that is a big inspiration we can say from you, that yeah, your knowledge actually helped you in reaching to a point. Okay, so we have understood about GA that okay, you are continuously revising, and how many times of revision is necessary if we talk about non-UPSC background?
Ma'am, I think that will differ from person to person, but until we are sure when we attend a question, we don't forget things and we are very comfortable, I think a revision up to that level is required, and that will differ from people to people. For me, at least 3 revisions are required to be very comfortable with the topic.
So from here, we also understood that mock tests are important because from there you are able to gain the knowledge.
In my case, only from the tests I'll be able to analyze what is my level and how much I have to improve. So only from the mock test I can decide on the number of revisions I have to take.
Yeah. Okay. So that was great about GA. Now we can move to ESI and ARD. So in ESI, like schemes is a major part that holds, and ESI is also like very big. And GA, okay, there are one-liners, but in ESI you have to actually understand the points. So what was your take on ESI and ARD? How did you cover it? How did you revise it?
Yes, ma'am. ESI and ARD, as you said, understanding is very important. So economy was one of my favorite topic in civil service syllabus. So that was very comfortable for me. And agriculture, since I did not have my UG background with agriculture, and most of the agriculture topics are not exactly covered. Economics, it is covered in civil service preparation, but agriculture and rural development, it is not covered. It is only to few extent it is covered. So what helped me was elimination strategy, analyzing the question deeply, options, and eliminating. That is what helped me much. So more than preparation, my thing in exam, how I did that elimination and which question to skip and which question to attend, all that helped me to score marks there.
Okay. And like when you were preparing for schemes, so what was your strategy for schemes? Like you were focusing on one source or you were focusing on many different sources?
No, ma'am, I did not focus on many different sources, but the usual current affairs compilation materials that I follow, I took that, and I focused on what is that scheme objective of the scheme, what is the budget allocation or any other unique points, and the target years, because that is what was repeated in the previous year question paper, the target years, budget allocation, and any if there is any specific numbers, for example, how many liters of water to every household, such numbers I concentrate on that, the ministry, and what is the objective of the scheme. That is what
Okay.
I did. And most of the time the questions were like, in a scheme, if there is an acronym for that, what does this letter stand for? So I also focused on that.
Okay, so you watched the previous year questions and you analyzed the previous year questions, and then you came to know that what are the dimensions. Like you specifically told the specific dimensions, and that are very important for the aspirants to understand that these are the dimensions, and we do not have to go out of these. So that is really great for the aspirants. You need to remember, you need to know the dimensions to clear the exam. Okay, and as you said that you do not have the ARD background, you didn't have the ARD background, so did you focus on ARD static? Because in the ARD exam in the phase 1 only, there are some static questions from that. So did you focus on ARD static or you just left it? Okay, I do not need to go to that.
I'm actually in the prelims part, I did not focus on ARD, but after writing the exam, I analyzed that was a big mistake. Since I was very strong in economy and other areas, I was able to get through, but that was a mistake. So during my mains, I focused on agriculture and rural development. So that was a mistake, and I don't want others to do that. Please do focus on that. Even that we can get guidance from the previous year question paper, and we can do that.
Mhm. And I think basic knowledge in ARD also, because it is generalist post. So non-agricultural background are giving the exam. So they questions might be, means you do not have to go in depth. So yeah, aspirants shouldn't leave ARD as you said, and you can focus a little. Yes.
To add is that ARD questions, by just looking at the questions, we don't have to think that this is not a part, we have not touched this syllabus, so we don't have to attend this, let's skip. What I did was, the questions had the clues from the options, we can definitely eliminate it. Definitely two options we can eliminate. And in most of the cases, we can get the answer directly, but at least two options we can eliminate. So we'll have a fair chance, 50-50 chance. So we can do that. So please analyze the questions. From the questions itself, you'll be able to eliminate it. That's what I understood from the prelims ARD part.
Okay. And as you talked about elimination method, so many of the students are not aware about elimination method. They do not very much trust the elimination method. So what should be the focus? Like many of the mock tests you should give so that you become casual with the elimination method. You know where to put it. So what is your take on mock test?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, we can get it only by mock test and practicing previous year question papers. And along with that, the time we spend for the test, we should equally spend for analyzing. How did we analyze this, and how did I get it correct, or where did I go wrong? So I think we have to analyze our test after it gets over. So that is how I got the elimination strategy.
Okay, so one important point that we understood from her is that not only giving mock tests but analyzing them also, like understanding your mistake is also a big part to clear the exam. Okay, that is really great. And now we can move to the phase 2. Now in phase 2 there is descriptive English. So how much comfortable you are in descriptive English, or you did much of the practice, or you were like I don't need practice?
It's not like that, but what I did was, what is the expectation, what is the standard of expectation, I was not aware. So I had an opportunity to look into the free videos, especially the EduTap videos that was available for free for descriptive English, how the basics of letter writing, formal letter and informal letter, what should be the structure of that, and what is the minimum expectation in an essay writing and in a thesis writing, what sort of things has to be done. So I got to know from the video, and then I practiced it in a normal Word document, because I was new to the typing. We usually write answers, so typing I have wanted to improve. So I specifically focused on that, and I wrote the answers and I checked my word count, and also using the spell check apps that is freely available. I got to know whether I'm doing a lot of spelling mistakes, whether there are grammatical mistakes in my sentence for English part. So that is what I did. So I practiced and I evaluated myself and I corrected it. And I also got opinion from my friends whether my answer has a flow and whether there should be any improvement. And my friends did suggest something, so I included all that in that.
Okay, that's really great. So you actually practice for it, and as you have not been practicing, like you were not writing in the keyboard and you didn't know how to like be fast in keyboard, so you practice in keyboard instead of writing it through your hand, like in pen and paper, through the pen and paper. So yes, that is also very important for the students that are not very comfortable with the keyboard, with the typing. They have to practice in the practice the typing, because that is the most important thing when you are going for the exam for the phase 2. Okay, so now we have understood about English. Now we can move forward to ESI and ARD descriptive, especially. So for the descriptive, what was your take? Like the compulsory question was there. So were you comfortable with the compulsory question?
Yes, ma'am. What I did for descriptive part was that I practiced the syllabus of the syllabus that was given, and to some extent, I made a guess what sort of questions can be asked. I also took examples from the RBI descriptive part, since the syllabus was similar. So I took examples of RBI's descriptive questions, what sort of questions are asked. So I analyzed what sort of questions are possible. And I prepared it, and I made sure that whatever topic is asked in the syllabus, I should be able to, even if I'm some rare topics also, I should be able to manage with that. So I prepared every word of the syllabus. That is what I did. And
Okay,
I
so
was in the exam case.
that's really nice. So you were focused on the syllabus only and not here and there, just the syllabus. That's nice. So like the compulsory question was there, like were you confused about the compulsory question, or because many of the students were confused about the compulsory question, especially the crossbreeding one. So as you are not from the ARD background, so how much were you comfortable with that?
Yes, ma'am. The crossbreeding question, I was also not comfortable. But I what I thought was everybody would have the same level of knowledge when it is generalist, except for
Yes.
people who agree who have applied for generalist. So I thought for 90% of the people attending the exam, this would be the status. So what I did was I kept the question for to be attended at the last. So I wanted to compensate for the loss of the question in other answers. So had I improved the quality of the answers in other answers, and I did not skip the crossbreeding question, and I also did not write something irrelevant, because by reading that question, and they should not have an expression that I just put stories in other questions also. So whatever I knew from until my 10th or 12th standard biology preparation, with that I gave the answer for the question. But I was not able to give the answer for that question equivalent to others, but I did give the answer. I just managed with whatever I know.
So do you think that it is better to not leave the compulsory question and just give some of the information that you know? So which is better, like leaving or giving information?
Ma'am, that's what I felt is 90% of the students attending in the generalist stream would feel that cross-breeding question to be a tougher one comparatively. So I thought I took comparatively less time for that question, but I did not skip that question. With whatever points I know and that is appropriate to that question, I attended that. So I think instead of skipping that, if we have some basic knowledge about that question, it's better to answer that, because again it is a generalist stream, and I thought they would not expect very specific answers, but to some extent whether we are at least aware of the basics of that question, that's what they would check. I felt that, so I did that.
Yes. So many of the points we learned from you that first of all, you do not have to fear the question because of course, if it is hard for you, it will be hard for the others also because it is generalist. Second of all, you should not leave the question if it is compulsory. Of course, the basic knowledge is also there. You must have the basic knowledge. So some pointers will benefit you instead of just leaving the question. So yes, that is also very important. So you were very comfortable in writing because you had the UPSC background also, and you said that you were practicing the typing also. So any message to the aspirants for the phase 2 that what strategy overall they should follow?
Ma'am, what I understood from people discussing is that they are going very deep. I don't know if it's right, but they are going too deep into every topic. I think for a generalist thing, let's take the syllabus and prepare the basics of everything. We'll make we ourselves can frame questions from every word of the syllabus. What sort of questions can be asked, relating it to the current happening. So I think by preparing like that, we can narrow down our preparation and practice more on typing, getting it evaluated, structurizing our answers, giving more dimensions to the answers. For example, for financial inclusion question, we can bring in more dimensions that we can get by practicing the answers and getting it evaluated or discussing it with our friends. So instead of reading more and more, I think practicing with the syllabus and getting feedbacks and improving ourselves will work.
Yes, that is really a great advice for the experience, I can tell. And so now I think we can move to the interview part. We have covered all of the descriptive. So now coming to the interview, how was the panel? It was cordial, it was grilling. Were you afraid? So how was the panel?
I couldn't tell it was cordial. It was neither cordial nor grilling. It was neutral. I was not able to make out from their expressions and the way they asked what they feel. I was not able to make out at all. So it was, but I couldn't say they killed me. Neither cordial.
Okay. And what kind of questions did they ask? Like when you entered, what was the questions? Anything that you can tell the aspirants?
What questions I had initially, they asked me to introduce yourself. And the first question was, what have you been doing for 5 years after your graduation? Then actually the questions followed from my answers. So I told them I was taking a part-time job. I told them about that. And I volunteer NGOs. I told them about that. So they asked me, what is the NGO doing? I specifically mentioned the name of the NGO. They asked me, what is the NGO working? What is the field? And what is your contribution? What role have you done in that NGO? And that was the question from the chairman. And the next person, she again started from my answer that I told the NGO works for reducing inequalities and helping people get out of poverty. That was the first line I was telling. So she asked me, how is NABARD working to reduce poverty? And when I was giving answers, again, chairman interrupted, how is this related to poverty? So I explained how these activities help overcome poverty. Then again, my answer had financial inclusion, a word financial inclusion. Ma'am asked, what is financial inclusion? So when I was telling financial inclusion, and my answer had the word basic financial services. So she again asked me, what is basic financial services? Then again, the third person, he again started with my first answer. You told your NGO works on reducing inequalities. Even in NABARD, we have a mission statement with the word equitable agriculture. So what do you mean by equitable agriculture? And my answer had two perspectives with regional inequalities as well as the inequalities among the small marginal farmers. So again, he asked what NABARD does for reducing inequalities among the farmers. And the final question was what NABARD does for reducing inequalities among regions, different regions, how do they work? So this is what
So we can say that it was kind of technical, but it was following from your answers only. So it was a technical and as well as personal questions like the introduction also was there. So yes, and your biodata, like the resume that you are sending, that also holds a big value when the question is being framed, especially in the starting, we can say, when you enter your introduction, your hobbies and all, from that the question can be framed. So yes. And what do you think, like how should we, like the aspirants, how should they go for the interview? Like should they be nervous? What should they prepare for the interview? What should be their preparation level?
Okay, what I understood from my questions and the transcripts that were posted by my other aspirants was that they thoroughly check our understanding about the organization. So I think it is very important to prepare well about from the NABARD websites, each and every department, their activities, because though the questions are not directly tell me about that, tell me about this, their questions indirectly it checks how deep we are understood our organization. I think so. Very thorough preparation about the organization, and the insights from the annual report will help us know different focus areas and what the way forward they have suggested. So that will also add quality to our answers. So I think, and for interview, I think friends should practice more mock tests. I attended all the mock tests that was freely available, and I had no idea about the interview only from the mock test questions that I attended around 5 mock interviews. So from that I got an idea of how to prepare, how to answer all that. So I think interview needs a very thorough preparation. Even from people with UPSC background can easily get through prelims or mains, but for interview to get good marks, I think a thorough preparation is required.
Yes. So thank you very much. And any last message, any message for the aspirants that are preparing and that are from UPSC background or that are like demotivated? Like you also gave 4 attempts and then there was no clear-cut result there was. So were you demotivated? Like such kind of message that you can provide to the aspirants?
Yes, I definitely want to tell my friends preparing UPSC that like it's not necessary if we didn't get through that, we can't get through any other exams. NABARD is a wonderful platform. Here we have merit section that is really favorable for us. UPSC or those who are preparing exclusively for NABARD, previous year question papers and syllabus will really guide us in a very proper manner. And be whatever exam it may be, if we work consistently, I think we'll have our reward someday.
Yes, consistency is a big thing. And yes, that is true. You prepared for UPSC, then you came to NABARD and you were motivated. You were doing your preparation consistently. That was the big thing, I think, that pushed you, that made you clear the exam. Yes, consistency is the big thing that everyone should focus on. So it was really nice talking with you, Pavithra, and heartiest congratulations to you for clearing NABARD. And it was really nice talking with you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I've used a free platform so much. So
Yes.
I'm really thankful for your team. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm also really thankful for you to come here and to talk to me. It was really nice talking with you. Thank you so much, Pavithra. So I will be ending the sessions. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you, Pavithra. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.